never mean to have rhythm to my voice clearing. Wait. Make sure the audio's right. Voice clearing. Desktop audio. 7. But no, not that. Character jump. What is that? I'm gonna share screen in a second. I just need to fix this. I should also probably say that I'm live. That would be smart, wouldn't it? I thought I just uploaded a vlog and it was doing that thing where it's like processing for standard definition and high definition. And so I thought it was like not uploaded. So I was just like, fuck, how long is this gonna take? So I just filmed like another TikTok. But it turned out good. So yeah, let me make myself shut up. I thought I just uploaded current stream bitrate. Stream output lower than, okay, we recommend you use stream bitrate of 13,000. Okay. Let's see if they're happy with 8,000, because I don't know if I want to go that high. YouTube's not. Is it just freaking out and the stream's actually fine? Or... Oh, stream's healthy. Okay, I think we're good to go. I'm going to adjust. That way it's not making a bunch of noise every time I move the mouse. Hopefully it won't pick it up as much. It won't pick it up as much. Okay. Pop out chat. Oh, maybe you need to see the screen first. Yeah, okay. Can I... We'll just have... I don't want it to be in the way, but... We'll deal with it. Let's put it like right there. Okay. Finally. So last time we learned about the nature of the Wada Nagashi and... No, not Oyasumi. Oyashiro? Oyashiro. The patron god of Hinamizawa, I guess. Yeah, basically punishes everybody that doesn't believe, but also, like, if you don't know about it, can you believe or not? Like, weird shit. And then we saw there was 3 other times that the curse killed someone on the night of the Wada Nagashi festival, and then we just saw someone got killed this year. Everything's as normal as can be over at the school. Good morning. Nice job yesterday, Kei-chan. You didn't do so badly yourself, Mion. Yesterday was fun. Oh, that's right, Keiichi-kun. Thank you very much for Mr. Bear. I'm glad you like it. Don't use it as a pincushion, though. Foreshadowing. I wouldn't. Still chatting happily, we entered the classroom. But the moment I stepped into the classroom, a splashing sound and a nasty sensation. It was a bucket filled to the brim with water, and unfortunately, my foot stepped right into it. I drag my feet, I would sooner kick it over. And then it's just like, well, whoever put this bucket here, they have to clean it up now. My now, how diligent of you to mop the floor this morning. Clomp, 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 woof. Ah, Kei-chan flicked my forehead. You should set a more brutal trap next time. Seeing that, Reina began to swoon as Mion looked on dejectedly. I'm Mion in this situation. Everything was the same as always. Everybody was there and nothing felt out of place. The uncertainties I'd had in the back of my mind since yesterday had vanished. What is it, Keiichi-kun? Didn't get enough sleep, maybe? Maybe. I slept like a log, but if you want, I'll do a reenactment during class. You shouldn't do that. Mion alerted us that the teacher was coming, so everyone shuffled off to their seats. Let me try to actually use my chair to support my back. Good morning, everyone. So yesterday was the festival. Also, can I... Okay, it's just gonna go away if I do that. Okay, that's fine. Great. Oh, I didn't say I was live. Let me go ahead and do that, because I did give like an hour warning, but let me go ahead and do the link. Oh, I guess I didn't post it to Twitter. I posted the thing to TikTok. And let me grab the link. Hope everyone watching is doing good today. Come on, just do the thing. Okay. Live now, playing Higurashi. Are there any emojis that kind of fit the theme of Higurashi? I don't think there's a cicada emoji, is there? How? Okay. Do the thing? Yeah, okay. Good morning, everyone. So yesterday was the festival. Thank you to all people who stayed until the very end to help clean up. We were all slackers, so none of us actually helped clean up. Actually, I had a feeling that the only thing we did was run around the festival and cause a ruckus. Okay then, this time of year you might see some people here from out of town doing interviews about the festival for magazines. Yeah, it's just about the festival, nothing else. Nothing associated with the festival. I thought it was the usual stuff, so I was going to tune it out, but then I noticed the different tone in her voice and started paying attention. You may be asked questions. Please don't say anything silly or something that could be taken the wrong way. Do you understand? In unison, everyone replied, "Yes, ma'am." What she'd said was really vague, but I understood what she was trying to say. After all, this was the 5th year. There were probably lots of third-rate reporters pouring in, hoping something regarding the curse had happened. It did nothing but perpetuate the village's bad image. She was saying, "Don't spout stupid shit you think is funny." And now I was one of the ones who needed to keep their mouths shut. I found it rather cute how I felt a sense of unity from such a trite thing, if I do say so myself. I was summoned to club activities after school. Since everyone was still pretty tired from yesterday, we just spent the day relaxing. Yeah, that wasn't happening. Today, let's play a classic game of deduction. How about this one? Oh, a game from overseas. Looks interesting. The instructions are in English, but the rules don't seem that hard. I won't lose you here. I'm not too bad at this game. It seemed that Reina didn't handle this kind of game very well. Oops. Keep doing that. I also forgot I can scroll the wheel instead of clicking the mouse. But yeah. The rules are, the person who can match the murderer, the weapon, and the scene of the crime wins. Never heard of this game before. There were 3 kinds of cards comprised of suspects, weapons, and locations. I could see that the names Mion and Rika were written on the suspect cards. Oh, a card with my name on it as well. There are plenty of different weapons too, like knives, axes, and poison. The locations are pretty nice too, like the living room, the study, and the courtyard. So basically, you take out one of each of the cards. These are the answer cards. So we shuffle the remaining cards and hand them out. We ask each other about the cards and figure out the right ones. Oh, I see. So the cards nobody has are the true perpetrators. Then you raise your hand if you know the answer. The game ends and we check if the answer is correct. Clue's really fun. If you're right, then you get a point. If you're wrong, then you lose a point. Since the game ends even if nobody gets it right, all the cards are gathered up and redistributed. You'll learn as you go. You really have to use your brain. You'll get confused if you don't take notes. The rest you can figure out by playing. So, Mion, what's the penalty this time? Everyone directed their attention to Mion. Let's see. We're all still a little tired from yesterday, so maybe we'll take it easy with a gopher penalty. You'll be asked to rush out and buy stuff for everyone. So just being asked to go buy stuff like drinks and candy, I guess. I feel like the penalty today is pretty simple. I wonder, is it really? Is Keiji-san thinking what I'm thinking? Yeah. You don't know what you'll have to go buy. I'm betting Mion would send out whoever loses to buy stuff like hemorrhoid cream or happy family planning manual or other crazy stuff. The cards were lightly shuffled and passed out to each player. The real perpetrator, the correct weapon, and the scene of the murder have been taken out, so that means all the cards I have in my hand are innocent cards. Then, I'll go first since I'm the club president, I guess. Well, then, Mion, knife, study. You pick one suspect, murder, weapon, and murder scene and ask each person. If you have any of those cards, then you must say, I have one. However, you don't need to say which one you have. Yeah, I got it. Me too. I have one. Oh my, all of them are here. 3 people answered when she asked if they had Mion, knife, and study. So that means that Mion and knife and study are all in the clear. Gotta jot that down. Then I'll go. Reina, axe, lounge. Only 2 people said they had one? So it means out of Reina, axe, and lounge, one of them is correct and is part of the crime? No, wait, even if they say they have one, they don't have to say how many. It's possible that either Sadako or Rika-chan has 2 of the cards. Well, Kei-chan is next. Go ahead. Wait, just a little. I'm still sorting things out. The game has me thinking more than I thought. Oh man, this feels like it's going to be tough. Alright, now I have the criminal. What? Already? Here I am spinning around in circles and Mion now raises her hand. Murderer is Rika-chan in the infirmary with the poison. Well, damn it. Mion drew the cards from the box and we checked to see if her deduction was right. You were right. Ugh, all I needed was one more hand. I couldn't tell whether it was poison or a pistol. I'd never use a pistol. I like killing them slowly with the poison. Rika-chan said such a hugely terrifying thing with such a sweet little face. Everyone was making a commotion about how they almost had it. Reina and I were left out in the cold, though. How did you do, Cage-kun? I couldn't get it at all. Don't worry, I had no idea either. How can you both be so unsure? You'll both end up in last place together at this rate. That's even worse. Going off buying something together as a couple? What if we ended up having to buy the Happy Family Planning Guide? I can tell from Keiichi's expression that he's not very good at this game. What? That's not true. I'll show you the true power of Sherlock Maibara during the next round. Honestly, buying the morning after pill, not as, like, embarrassing as you think it is. I've done it a couple times. Those bitches are expensive though. They're like $50. That's why. Actual birth control, not emergency contraceptive. You shouldn't be using emergency contraceptive on the regular. But anyways, I probably just slammed my hand on the table. I'm sorry. My, that sure sounds wonderful. I shall give you quite the thrashing. After that, I managed to somewhat grasp the trick behind the game, but I was still always a step or two behind. I saw that Mion was somehow gleaning information from how the others were asking their questions. That level of experience was just too much. The only way I could stage a comeback was if I became ruthless. I tossed out the simple concept of deduction and switched over to the thought process needed to win. The important thing isn't to find out the criminal, it's to win at the game. Eureka. Sorry, need to go to the bathroom. Take your time and squeeze out a nice one. Michan, that's gross. I had them hold off the game and headed down the hall. The air was crisp. It showed just how stagnant the air in the classroom was from our body heat. On the school grounds, some of our classmates were still playing around. After spending some time cooling my head, Reina had made her way over towards me. Oh shit, more romantic subplot. Keiichi-kun, did you call for me? Yeah, I did. As I got up from my seat, I winked over at Reina. I'm glad it worked out. I don't want to waste much time, so I'll get right to the point. Reina, what's your record at this game we're playing today? She was taken aback. After a moment, she hesitantly opened her mouth. Well, all losses. Why do you ask, I wonder? I could tell from how apprehensively she was playing. The way things are going, I will as well. I can't figure out a way to pull off a last-minute comeback on this one. So, I guess both of us will be taking that penalty? Hey, don't accept defeat already. How about we win this, both of us? But how can we? I brought my lips up to Reina's ear. Whisper, 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 whisper. Is that allowed? Did you forget, Reina, the second rule of our society? Do everything in your power to obtain victory. Yeah, I'll try my best. Oh god. Our plan of attack was quite a rudimentary one. At the beginning of the game, everyone would be focused on their own hand for a while, taking notes or whatnot. Since our seats were right next to each other, we'd reveal our hands to each other. If we did it under the desk, then nobody would know. We'd begin the game with twice as much information as everyone else. Having this much information would mean we'd need to investigate less. With this sort of plan of attack, we start off with a big lead over the other guys. Are you able to both win in that way? Like, would you... Because wouldn't somebody, like, say it's this, this, and this, and then they win, and then someone not saying something means they naturally lose? I don't know. We start off with a big lead over the other guys. Yeah, with this one we can probably win. We both smirked at each other. If I was the shady businessman, then Reina was the corrupt senator. Pleasure doing business with you. Then let's hurry back. We'll work as a duo to surprise everyone. Hey now, there's no point if we go back together. It would be like flat out telling them we made a little arrangement. Oh, sorry, then what should we do? Go back ahead of me, Reina. I'll take my time coming back after washing my face or something. Okay, got it. Reina returned and headed back to the classroom. I guess I should wait a bit longer before going back. If I went too soon, it wouldn't seem like I went to the bathroom. If Mion or one of them suspected something, then there could be problems. Well, they'd figure it out sooner or later because both Reina and I would start winning over and over again. Both Reina and I will have earned enough points to avoid being the losers by the time Mila realized what was happening. Excellent. Not bad at all. Maebara-kun, may I have a moment? It's the teacher. Yeah, things were just getting good. What is it? I'm a bit... You have a guest. Please make your way to the entrance. A guest? It's not like I own a hotel. They have been waiting. Please hurry. Yeah, don't be a fucking smartass to the teacher. It was rather unfortunate that I'd have someone waiting on me right before my big match, but I was more interested in the unexpected guest. I didn't want to waste any time, so I decided to take care of it quickly. The entryway was a heavy contrast from the hot sunlight and deep shadows. Waiting there, looking uncomfortably warm, was a middle-aged man, his tie sloppily loosened, and his jacket tucked underneath his arm. Are you Maebara-san? Keiichi Maebara-san? There was no question that he wasn't a resident of Hinamizawa, and that this was without a doubt the first time he had met me. Ever since I met Tomitake-san, I'd been running into so many middle-aged men. That's right. Who might you be? I have the AC on in my car. Let's talk there. It's a bit hot here, don't you think? The man, completely ignoring my question, pointed over to his car, parked near the gate, and began walking. You've got to be kidding me. I had no intention of going along with some geezer I didn't even know, and he was asking me to get in the car with him? I'm not going to bite. Come on now. He opened the back door of his car and called me over. I didn't like this old man, but I wanted to know what this was about. Dude, just ask him. It's so weird. It's still not to the part yet where it's like a blind playthrough for me yet. So that's why I called out the foreshadowing earlier, but that's not even for a while. Even while knowing that conversations that start out like this had never led to anything good. The inside of his car was pretty cool. Cars with air conditioners were supposed to be a luxury. My dad didn't have one in his car. At least. Please let me know if it's too cold for you, okay? I have a habit of cranking it all the way up. So what business do you have with me? Out of spite, I decided to ignore his remark in the same way he did to me and start my own line of questioning. He pulled out a notepad from his pocket and took out a picture that was stuck between the pages. On it was the face of a pretty goofy-looking guy. If you know anything related to this individual, then please tell me. Who the heck is this? I doubt even his close friends would be able to recognize who he was from this expressionless picture that looked like it was taken at the DMV. There were scribbles on his shirt done in permanent marker. Starting with yours, Maebara-san, and quite a few of your classmates signed as well. Huh? This is... Tomitake-san? Oh, I love when the music changes. There was no hint of his usual unreliable and easygoing personality in this photo. It was an expressionless, half-asleep face. Then, do you know this woman? Even before seeing it, I had a good idea of who it was. I don't remember her name, but she's some lady who was with Tomitake-san last night. I didn't know what her name was, but I did know she was a resident of Hinamizawa. When was the last time you saw these two? The night of the Waranagashi, we spoke. They seemed pretty close, I guess. Did anything bother you about them? Anything is fine. Go ahead and say it. Being asked for every little detail is very troubling, honestly. I had a pretty good idea of who this guy was by now. Did something happen to them? There was no response to my inquiry. Thus, I replied to that silence in kind. I was pretty sure, no, certain, that this guy was a cop. Then why? Why was he asking about Tomitake-san? Did something happen to him? More importantly, why me? Shouldn't there have been plenty of other people who knew more about him than I did? The roar of the air conditioner felt unbearably loud. After a long pause, he finally spoke again. You've moved here just recently. Isn't that right, Maebara-san? Are you aware, I wonder, about the stories of Ueshiro-sama? My heart began to race. I'm pretty terrible at hiding things. It probably showed on my face. Not at all? If you don't, it's fine. Well, I have heard of it. Tomitake-san told me, actually. How much do you know about it? The dismemberment killing, the accidental death, the death by illness followed by suicide, and the lady who was beaten to death. The incidents that always happen the day of the Waranagashi ending in suspicious deaths. I didn't think Tomitake-san would have kept anything from me. I think that was everything. No, rather I didn't want to think there was anything more than that. Do you know of that, curse, Maebara-san? Feel free to speak openly about it. I don't believe in it. My answer was instant. It wasn't so much that I didn't believe in it as I was on the verge of believing. I wanted to clear away my own doubts. That was the more prominent feeling. Really? Then that's great. Guess you really are one of those city-raised boys. So what if I don't believe? I have friends waiting, so could you get to the point? The man in this picture is dead. My mind went blank. What happened to Tomitake-san? It would seem that he died last night. That was the night of the Waranagashi. Do you understand the implications behind that, Maebara-san? Implications? Not any for the cause of his death or the reasons behind it. That he died on the day of the Waranagashi. Meaning, this year, the curse of Oyashiro-sama had once again... Wait. Okay. The death of Jiro Tomitake is still confidential. You can understand why that is, right? I didn't want to understand why. Please tell me. Tell me what happened. It was rather peculiar. It might be a little too graphic for someone born and raised in Hinamizawa. It was a roundabout way of saying it, but it caused me to doubt whether or not I wanted to hear the rest. I would only regret forcing myself to learn of something I shouldn't. Or at least, that's how I figured I would feel if I listened to the rest. Let's turn this down just a little bit. And... probably gonna... I want to turn the... Let me check on the... It was... Why do I feel like... Alright, I'll do that. I would only regret forcing myself to learn of something I shouldn't, or at least that's how I figured I would feel if I listened to the rest. One of our patrol cars discovered the body on the way back from security detail at the festival. It was late, about 5 till midnight. The location was, you know that where that road into town becomes paved, right? Down past the slope, on the shoulder, around there. There were few street lights on that road. Its pitch black darkness was only broken by lights of passing cars and the moon. It was a stroke of luck that Tomitake-san was spotted collapsed on the shoulder of the road. I can't tell if this is quoted, or if this is like... Yeah, this is like narration by like a third party. Tomitake-san was face down, covered in blood. Blood and muck covered the asphalt. We thought it was a hit and run at first, but the officer checked to see if he was still alive. He quickly noticed something abnormal. His throat had been ripped open. From a knife or something? No. Nails. nails? As in fingernails? With those he clawed through? From the coroner's report, it was revealed that it was with his own nails. What? What does that mean? Basically, it means it wasn't murder. It was suicide. I'm reading the, huh? Huh? What? What? Huh? Like, I've seen memes that are like using that. Anyways, Tomitake-san thought there was a reason to tear open his own throat. As hard as he could with his own nails, tore through the skin until he started to bleed. And even then, Tomitake-san didn't stop. He continued clawing. With enough intensity that it could have peeled off his nails, still clawing, still clawing. Then as his nails reached those vital arteries that you should never damage, he continued clawing. Blood splattered on the ground around him. As he bled, while gasping for breath, he collapsed. His body spasmed, and he died in agony. We thought the drugs were to blame, but nothing of that nature was detected. But it was a suicide. I've never heard of such a thing. This unnatural way of dying. If this wasn't a mysterious death, then what was? The way he died. In these 5 years, his death most resembled that of a curse. As if to show both myself and Tomitake-san, who proclaimed there was no such thing as a curse, that we were wrong. There were a few more suspicious details. From his body chemistry, perspiration, epilation, and so on, we concluded that he was in a state of hysteria right before his death. That was a given. It's hard to believe someone could be in a sound state of mind while clawing out their own throat. Wounds on his hands matched a discarded piece of lumber found nearby. There were traces of where he struck trees in the guardrails with it, I think is what they meant to do there. Tomitake-san's blood was found all over the place, meaning that while tearing out his own throat, he was swinging around a piece of lumber. There were external injuries which were not self-inflicted discovered on Tomitake-san. There is a high probability that Tomitake-san was assaulted. The external injuries suggest there may be multiple suspects. To summarize, Tomitake-san was surrounded and attacked. While wandering the night roads in a state of panic, after being cornered, he picked up a piece of lumber and tried fighting back. Somewhere in there, he began madly tearing at his own throat, clawing at it. Then he died. The presumed time of death was around 9:23 p.m. Okay. Meaning it occurred right after you finished talking to Tomitake-san at the festival. Everyone signed Tomitake-san's shirt, then parted ways. Right after that, oh yeah, he should have been with a woman. What about her? She's missing. She hasn't shown up to work and she hasn't returned home either. There is a very high probability that she was involved in this incident. For a while, I could only gaze off into space. I would never have thought that something unfortunate happening to somebody close to me could affect me this deeply. The time I had spent with Tomitake-san was short, but we went to the same festival, spent time together, and took part in the same competition. He was one of us. We had been continuing the investigation on various fronts, but when it comes to Oyashiro-sama's curse, the villagers here aren't very cooperative. That I knew well. I would have been none the wiser if not for Tomitake-san, the outsider, telling me. So that's why you came to me? Because I'm not originally from Hinamizawa? I should have been angry that was the reason he wanted to hear what happened from me. If things go the way they have been, then the conclusion would be that Jiro Tomitake died from Oyashiro-sama's curse. He turned away from me and gazed far off into the distance. The night of the Wanenagashi, during the sacred ritual, he callously snapped off photos, angering Oyashiro-sama. That's how it's going to turn out. There's no way that Oyashiro-sama would inflict divine punishment on Tomitake-san. Tomitake-san had been killed by humans, and a cowardly group no less. There's no way I'm going to let this end up being the fault of some curse. wandering around the room and crying at nothing. Come here. Come on. Come on, Goliath. Don't you want to show off for the camera? Come on. You sure? One last chance. If you cry, you'll get kicked out of the room. Come on. Yeah. I think so as well. There's no such thing as divine punishment or curses. The tense mood was cut with the man's hearty laugh. That's how this must be, Maebara-san. Cooperation from individuals in Hinamizawa who don't believe in the curse is indispensable. Understand? Neither Tomitake-san nor I believed in curses, but with the way things were going, it would just end up with Tomitake-san's death marking the 5th year, which would mean that Hinamizawa had rejected Tomitake-san. That was something I couldn't allow. Tomitake-san was one of us. He didn't leave every single year. In a sense, he was more of a resident than I was. I've got one cat on my lap and the other one's meowing outside the door. There was no way that Tomitake-san could have been cursed by Oyashiro-sama. Yeah? Oh god. Hold on a second. Okay. You're not making this easy, Goliath. But there's nothing I can do to help. I have no idea what happened that night either. No, if you see or hear something that draws your attention, then that is enough. If I see or hear, he was talking in the future tense. Things or people or rumors, anything is fine. I don't care if they're unfounded. Here, this is my number. If I'm not there, then just leave a message with whoever picks up. He handed me a piece of paper with his number on it, but I hesitated for a second. If I took it, then whether I wanted to or not, I'd be mired knee-deep in this matter. Mire is such a good word. I love it. Please help me solve these questions surrounding Tomitake-san's unfortunate death. That's right, why was I hesitating? I needed to find the murderer who killed my friend. Was he really your friend? I snatched up the piece of paper as a satisfying grin spread across his face. Everything we spoke of today is a secret. Please keep this confidential. Understood. From your friends as well, especially from Sonozaki-san and Furude-san. Please do not inform them. Sonozaki? You mean Mion? Why? Are you saying they have something to do with the incident? With my friends' names being brought up so abruptly and being told to keep it a secret from them, I became rather angry. This is what they call investigative privilege, I suppose. Don't play games with me. Mion is a close friend of mine. I snapped at him, but he didn't seem to especially be offended. I wouldn't mind telling you, but it may just upset you. Say it! He hesitated a little. Turning his gaze to the outside of the car, he began to speak after thinking for a bit. There is a possibility that the string of incidents happening here in Hinamizawa are a result of a village conspiracy. There's no way that can be right. Give me a break. First of all, is there any proof of that? No evidence. Also, each of the cases were resolved and none of the perpetrators had any direct connection to the village. Then how did you come to that conclusion? Every year, the enemies of the village die on the day of the Waranagashi. Don't you think that's enough reason to suspect something? Only the residents of Hinamizawa felt that the day of the Waranagashi was sacred. So basically, because incidents happened on that day, it was somehow related to Hinamizawa? First it was the dam construction foreman, then it was a villager that supported it. Those the villagers hold a grudge against die one after the other from mysterious causes. Means are different, but in the end, the result is the same. Unfounded, unreasonable suspicion. But it couldn't just be shrugged off. So, the victims after that, what about the Shinto priest and his wife's death? They weren't enemies of the village. The villagers had expected leadership from the Shinto priest at the time of the dam's dispute, but he wasn't proactive, so there was a faction of villagers who harbored ill will towards him as a result. Ill will? It's not like he did anything bad to the village. What about the housewife after that? Did she die just because she was the wife of the brother of a supporter? That's such a trivial reason to kill someone. And what about Tomitake-san? He's not affiliated with the dam project at all. Was he killed just because he was an outsider? In the beginning, it fell on those related to the dam project, but as the years went on, the enemy threshold of the victims had become much lower. Well, that's the scary part. The bar keeps getting lower. What's scary about that? It means... Jesus Christ, Keiji, can you not keep up? Are you fucking stupid? It means it's not just enemies of the village anymore. Just being an outsider is reason enough. Then next year's victim, they're just going to be picked out of the village outsider pool? It might be a person that just moved here. What do you mean by... I swallowed my words. Here in Hinamizawa, the ones who would be considered the most outside would be my family. I was proof enough of that, wasn't I? I still couldn't really remember the names of the people I passed by. Then the next victims, my family, was he saying it was going to be me? But what does that have to do with Mion? I can't go into details, but the Sonozaki family led the dam protests. Quite fervently so. This is also true of Mion Sonozaki herself. She has quite a few misdemeanors and obstruction of public worker offenses on her record because of the protests. I knew Mion knew what it meant to fight. This was the first I'd heard of her family leading the protests, though. Then, well, what did it all mean? Are you saying that Mion's family is involved with this string of incidents? I wouldn't go that far. I'm just saying that if it was a conspiracy, then they'd have the highest probability of being behind it. Not a very clear explanation. It felt like he'd magnificently avoided the details I really wanted to know. We don't know who or how involved anyone is right now. That is exactly why I don't want you to say anything to the villagers. Instead of answering, I gave a very bitter expression. It seemed that he understood it well enough. Then think of it like this. I don't want to worry the villagers who blindly believe it's the curse. How about that? What do you mean, how about that? How should I know? But the reasoning behind wanting me to not carelessly open my mouth about it wasn't too hard to comprehend. The perpetrator was here. It had nothing to do with a curse. He was definitely going to be caught by the police and made to pay for his crimes. And none of the villagers should have anything to do with that process. It may cause those sensitive about the curse to just worry needlessly. Just like everyone kept it from me so I wouldn't worry about it. Is it now my turn to keep it from them so they didn't have to worry? I was just talking to myself. Unlike me, everyone else had been worrying over those mysterious incidents yearly. An incident this time probably means a lot more to them. I didn't want to burden them anymore. Man, Japanese people and the idea of being a burden. The idea of being a burden has a fucking chokehold on Japanese society. Even now. That's why I like the Menhera art movement, which is just an abbreviation for mental health. And basically like the idea of being mentally ill or needing help in that kind of way when it's, you know, an unseen illness, like, you know, depression, whatever it is. I'm not going to pretend that I'm an expert on this, but it makes it a very compelling statement to be open about mental illness, and also kind of it aestheticizes it. I don't know if that's a word, but yeah. In the end, everything went as the man had wanted, as insipid as it was, but it couldn't be helped. I understand. I'll keep it to myself. Is that fine? Mr. Uishi from the Okonomiya's police station. You can call me Kura-chan if you want. No. Uishi-san is fine. The way he had said it was unpleasant, yet retained hints of politeness. He was the spitting image of a vulgar police officer. Kura? Isn't Kura a bear? Is Kura a bear? I don't remember. One second. Queen's gonna join us too. I think I'm gonna play for another like 15 minutes or so. Hiccups. Though I've never seen one this bulky before in the cop shows I watch. I've taken up too much time. Your friends are waiting, aren't they? I should probably let you get back to them. The door opened with a click and in streamed the impressive heat. I was blistering outside of the car. Was it really this hot of a day? It was an almost cruel heat as opposed to the mechanical coolness inside the car. Going out into the heat after you've been in AC really sucks. It makes it like so much worse. It was as if the land of Hinamizawa itself suddenly hated me. I felt a little sad as that thought crossed my mind. I didn't mean to suspect your friends. Please don't misunderstand that. I refrained from telling him it was too late to say something that self-serving. It's fine if you don't see or hear anything, Maebara-san. There is enough proof that the village is not involved. I'll contact you if I hear or see anything, but I'm no detective. Please don't expect too much from me. I won't. You don't have to become a detective. Just go on living as you have up until now. Just let me know if you notice anything. I hastily made my way back to the school building after giving him a quick bow. See you later. Farewell, Maebara-kun. I returned to the school building without looking back. I don't know how much time had passed. I did feel bad for keeping them waiting, but right now there is a lot on my mind. Tomitake-san's death was hard enough as it was, but to think there was a possibility of a village conspiracy? Worse still, there was also a chance that Mion was involved? Nonsense. Impossible. Not Mion, Reina, Sadako, or Rika-chan. It was a group that attacked Tomitake-san? Who could the perpetrators be? Could it be they were hiding here, somewhere in Hinamizawa? I didn't know. All I could say for certain was that I knew that Mion couldn't be the perpetrator. Also, we know that at the dam construction site, it was a group of people, and they were all in on it. And each one of them had to take a part from the body to sort of like represent their shared culpability in the crime. So it's interesting that this one also appears to be like a group had attacked him. It's me, Chan, the perpetrator. Uh-huh. I was startled to hear Reina's voice. With the rope in the lounge. Haha, nope. No! Raina clutched her head while flailing about. Looks like you're just self-destructing over here. Wow. Ah, Keiichi-san, you're quite late. As you well know, I'm seething with anger. Sorry about that. I was called into the staff room, you see. You were reprimanded for bad behavior? That's a shame. Well, it's been pretty heated over here. Since it's getting pretty late, let's make the next game the last one. If I remember right, I had 0 points. Isn't it pretty much decided that I'm going to be finishing in last place? Don't worry, Keiichi-kun. I'm at -1 points. The heck? Her score's lower than mine and I wasn't even playing! This is the final match to decide if the penalty is going to be carried out by Reina alone or by both Kei-chan and Reina. Yeah, right. Just let Reina do the penalty by herself. We made a promise, Keiichi-kun, that we would both win. I waited all this time, you know? Aren't you revealing that... I don't know. I thought you said you were gonna be cool, Reina. I followed my initial plan of showing Reina my cards, but I didn't say who was the criminal and just waited for her to call. I got it. The murderer is me with the poison at the entrance. Is it? Is it? Interesting that it's the entrance and Keiichi was just at the entrance of the school. My, Reina. Quite a quick answer. Another stab in the dark? Oh. Reina's correct. Oh! Then it's decided that Keiichi-san shall take part in the penalty as well. Hooray! Keiichi-kun, let's both do our best. Yeah, let's serve us. It's my fault, so I have no choice. Then that's the game. It's me, Sonozake, ranked first. In dead last are Keiichi Maebara and Reina Ryugu. Everyone applauded that the game ended. The problem now was the penalty. Now then, I ranked first, so I'll decide what you'll be buying for the gopher penalty. What will she make us buy, I wonder? Let's blacklist the drugstore. That was your aim, wasn't it? I don't have any business at the drugstore. This old man's already got a list prepared for you on this piece of paper. Whoa, there's a lot written here. A lot? Damn it, what is she making us buy? 2 blocks of tofu, shampoo and conditioner, apple vinegar and fried tofu. The heck is this? It looks more like a shopping list than a penalty. Me was certain she was going to win today. Rule 7 of our society, you cannot refuse any penalty. Here's some money. The shampoo I usually get is Fruit Fable. Thanks. This is just your grocery list? I promised myself that if I won next time, I'd make her go buy hemorrhoid cream. God. Well, how long have we been going? Probably like an hour 20. I have 3 people watching. Hello. Is there? I guess there's no new tips. Oh. Okay. There's 4 perpetrators. Hypovolemic shock induced by clawing out their own throat. Tissue is packed under the nails, not someone else's nails. It's undoubtedly by the individual's own nails. The shape of the scar also matches. Yeah, I know the immediate cause of death was suicide. I get it. You're saying the cause of death is unnatural, right? It's kind of like when your back itches and you scratch a little too hard and draw blood. Some of Tomitake's fingernails had been pulled out. It's actually quite simple to pull out one's own nails, but it really hurts. Under normal circumstances, the pain would prevent you from completely pulling them out. Also, there was a lot of bruises on Tomitake's body. It's clear from the shape of them that he was assaulted first by someone or a group of people. According to the toxicology report, the deceased was in an extreme state of hysteria right before death. Then he fought back and clawed his own throat because of how hysterical he would become. The guys attacking him certainly would have been surprised by that. It is possible that in such an abnormal environment, a person could perform acts that a sane individual couldn't possibly imagine. Of course, those are very rare cases. Actually, Oishi-kun, that wood plank that the deceased used as a weapon, they only found sand and paint from the guardrail on it. What about cloth fibers or skin? Nothing. The deceased didn't strike the assailants, or it could be that they took the plank he was fighting back with. In that case, they wouldn't have gone out of their way to replace it with another. They'd take them all. Har har har, that's true. Tomitake's pretty built and tanned. He was quite athletic. I love that tanning is relevant. That's right. He was pretty active. I can't imagine what kind of sports he did when he was alive, but I think his physical strength would be on the higher side, meaning he would be difficult to overpower in a brawl. If a man with such a physique sensed he was in danger and swung the plank around quickly, it's just unthinkable he wouldn't even nick the perpetrator. And his opponent was unarmed. This guy had a wooden plank, so you'd think he'd hit him at least once. To surround and take down someone of his own physique, I wonder how many people it would take. You dimwit, you should know better than anyone. Have you forgotten your bad cop days? If I was to take down this guy, how many would I need? When a group wants to take down a big prey, it's fundamental to attack with numbers. I'd guess about 4. Even if there was a gap in their strength, they'd manage. There were quite a few perpetrators, so any drunken disorderly groups of more than 4 are suspicious? A group of 4 or more. Just, if they had that many, then couldn't they have hidden the body in a less obvious location? Or did he somehow break away from that fatal predicament? Then there would be no reason to commit suicide. Moreover, I still can't comprehend the irregular way he died. It's full of mysteries. That's under serious consideration on my end, too. I'll be examining it as thoroughly as possible, but don't get your hopes up. After all, we've never encountered a death like this before. I'm not hoping for much, but I am looking forward to the results. Oishi-san, the chief is calling you. Thanks. See you around. Yeah, best wishes. Okay, search notice. Jiro Tomitake, deceased. Resided in a cheap hotel in Shishibone City. Registered under the name Jiro Tomitake. Pen name. Travels via folding bike. No license. The bicycle was found 300 meters away, abandoned on the side of a forest path. Present on the day of the festival, accompanied by the missing Mio Takano. So that's her name. Mio. Was seen around 9 p.m. by police, location afterwards unknown. Held residence in Hinamizawa for 1 week each season for the last 5 to 6 years. Freelance photographer specializing in wild birds. Check with magazine companies. Nothing suspicious in the film located among the articles of the deceased. Wallet was among the articles of the deceased. Mere act of violence? From the contents of his wallet, he spent most of his time around Tokyo and Chiba, along the Sobu National Railway line. No individual matching the name Jiro Tomitake in the residency records of any of the Tokyo wards. Compare teeth to dental records. Send to Metro Police. Attach photo. Send to Metro Police. Contacting magazines regarding Jiro Tomitake. Mio Takano, missing. Nurse at Irie Clinic. Became close to Tomitake through her passion for wild bird photography. Resides in Okonomiya blank district blank. Single. Witnessed accompanying Tomitake on the festival grounds. Currently missing. Abducted? Or maybe a suspect. An important person of interest. Had no motive to kill the deceased. Squabble from jealousy? Need to thoroughly investigate their relationship. Place of work, etc. Need to get information from the police on scene again. I want some cream puffs. 4 jumbo ones. Oishi. Me too. I am really hungry right now. I should probably eat something quick before I go stream on Sugar Bait. I don't know. Okay. I think there's 13 chapters in the first arc. I think. So yeah. Alright. So I am going to log off. I got a new video uploaded. I've got like 3 more YouTube videos that are on the way that I just like haven't gotten to. And I've got a new video for Fansly going up soon. I'll probably edit that later tonight so that way it can go up tomorrow, I think. But yeah, so it's good to be back. Playing Higurashi. Today's Tuesday, so we'll stream again on Thursday. Yeah, so take care of yourself until then. I'm excited for more story. Finally, it's getting good. So, I don't know what else to say, so bye.